Okay, so we finally finished this project. It's been a long grind, but we've gotten to the end of it, and now you get the opportunity to see what we've done. So starting at the front, here behind this palm tree, we have the first of 3 timers. This is the biggest and most important of all the timers because it's controlling the front and it's controlling the most zones. This is actually a 6-zone timer and it's Wi-Fi and everything, so she's able to control her irrigation system from her phone. Really cool. Okay, so the first zone is this small area of lawn right here. It only measures about 12 by 5 or so feet. And you may ask yourself, well, why does this area have its own zone? Well, the thing is that it has the sprinkler heads that we're using here are smaller or rated for less distance in terms of throw or smaller radii than the other sprinklers that are out here. And you tend not to want to mix the different type of sprinklers or sprinkler heads on the same zone, and so that's why this has a separate zone. So this comprises 6 sprinklers using Rainbird MPR 6-foot sprayers. Right, so this is the second sprinkler zone, the second area of lawn that is being irrigated and controlled by that first timer in front. So this actually consists of 11 sprinklers, and the sprinkler heads we use here are Rainbird HE Van 8-foot radius sprinklers. This area is shaped kind of weirdly, and it's always kind of a little bit difficult to design an efficient layout for a weirdly shaped area, but I think we are able to accomplish it pretty well here. Okay, so the next area of grass that we're spraying is actually outside on the curb between the front wall and the house. So this area here has some pretty special sprinkler heads that we use here, and these are actually corner sprayers. And we had to use corner sprayers here because they are plants, they're pretty large pots and plants against the wall. And normally if you're spraying a strip like this, we can use strip sprayers which spray from along the center line. But because we have these things along here, if we spray from the center line, these will actually obstruct some of the spraying. And so we use corner sprayers, and we ran our sprinklers along the front line of the lawn, and they spray in a kind of a triangle pattern that gets up towards the wall. And in that way, we're much better, much more efficiently irrigating the grass in this area. That's it for the sprinklers being controlled by this timer. But we also have 2 drip irrigation zones. The first is actually in this little planter right here. It's only a few plants, but we give them their own zone because the plants here are much more sheltered than the plants outside. And so it is a possibility that under more rainy conditions and whatnot, the irrigation that you would want happening for the plants outside will be different from what we want from the plants here where they're sheltered. These plants will probably always need the same kind of irrigation, regardless of what time of year it is or what's happening with the weather. But the ones outside, that may change. The second irrigation zone comprises all these plants along the wall outside here, and also the plants outside the wall. It may seem like a lot of plants, but the great thing with drip irrigation is that you're watering very, very slowly. You know, most of these drippers are rated at only half gallon per hour. And we probably have in this area here probably 120 or so drippers. So that half gallon per hour, it means that, you know, we're probably doing about 30 or 40 gallons in total when this irrigates. And the nice thing is that you don't have to irrigate your plants every day. You know, I think right now the timer is set up to irrigate the plants once every 3 days. And that's good because when you wet, you want the pot to be able to dry out almost completely before you irrigate again. And so that just lends to the efficiency of doing it this way. You know, if you are wetting with a hose or wetting with a watering can, water is going on the leaves and evaporating from the leaves, water is running off the side to the bottom of the pot. You know, when you tune the drip irrigation system properly, none of that stuff has to happen, none of that wastage. And that's where the efficiency comes from. Okay, so that's it for this timer. But we have 2 more timers as part of this irrigation system. So the other timer is located over here. Right, so in this area, just like everywhere else, all the pots have drip irrigation built into them now. And there's also a system of sprayers that come on for a short time just to wet the leaves of the plant. That's something that the homeowner wanted. And it was a late add-on to the project. And so we put that in with these misters here. So we have a small problem with these misters in that the pressure is too high for them. Since it was something that was added in, we couldn't have made full accommodation for them as yet. So we're actually going to be installing some regulators into this part of the system to bring down the pressure to where it is supposed to be for these misters. So currently they are getting probably like twice their rated pressure, and it's just blowing them to bits and causing a lot of trouble out here. So we have that generally off for now, but we still put it on for a short time to show you how it works. Okay, so that is pretty awesome. It looks absolutely fantastic. And so that's it for the second timer. It only does those 2 zones. And so the last timer is down through to the back of the house. Okay, so this last timer does a few manages the irrigation of a few areas well, including this strip of lawn here and these grow box plants here. Also, these plants along here, along the side of the house here, in these pretty large pots. It also controls the irrigation for all these plants along the back wall here, which are quite healthy and fantastic. And last but not least, the irrigation of this hedge and these plants in the hedge as well. So we pass the timer. This is the timer here. It's a 4-zone timer, but it's controlling 5 zones. So go figure, right? Because the lawn on this side is 1 zone. The hedge and that palm tree in that pot is a 2nd zone. The plants along here are 3rd zone. The plants along the side there are 5th zone. And these plants along the back wall have a tall sprayer that comes up and wets everything. So let's take a look at how everything works. In this area, we're actually using strip sprayers, which are designed to spray long, narrow areas. So they spray a kind of a rectangular shaped spray. And so this is 36 feet, and we have 2 end sprayers and 2 center sprayers accomplishing irrigation for this area. Right, so after that area, the irrigation for the drip irrigation for the hedge is what actually comes on next. So we should be able to see that here. And if you look closely, you can see the dripper dripping away here. In the hedge, we actually have drip hose. This is special hose that has drip emitters built into it. Now, these are not holes that are bored in it. These are drip emitters that emit a specific amount of water per hour. In this case, ½ gallon per hour. And if you look here, you can see them dripping. So next up are the 3rd and 4th zones, which come up simultaneously, right? That is controlling the drip irrigation in these plants here. So all of these plants have drippers built into them. So I can choose any one. And you can see this is one of 2 drippers here. And it is dripping away. So the last one is pretty much more dramatic, and that is the sprayers that come up to wet the leaves of all these plants in the back here. So take a look as I put that one on. So that's it. That's it. There you go. The full tour of the irrigation system that we will have created. You know, it's amazing how you're able to see 10 days work in probably less than 10 minutes. But that's the way it is. And it is fantastic. It is fantastic. It was well worth the effort, well worth the 10 days. Even though it went far beyond what I would have liked it, far beyond the time I would have liked it to go or that was planned for, everything still worked out because look at this. Look at this. The customer is able to enjoy her plants, the refreshment, the ambience, the peace that these bring without having to go through the hassle of watering them for hours every day. And so we're on to the next one. If you've enjoyed this project, don't forget to hit the like button on this video, share it with as many people as possible, because you know it's not just about entertainment. People actually need this stuff. This is important. So share it and subscribe, because we have many more projects coming up. many more we would have done that I just haven't edited and put up as yet. And you know, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. If you have suggestions, or you just want to say good job or bad job, you know, it is what it is. But until next time, stay green, my friends.